Welcome back. So on this week's episode, it's all about deer. You know, new face here you guys have never seen. This is Matt. He's one of the guys from Archery World, best sponsor ever. And I was in the shop getting some work done on a bow, and he started showing me some of the footage from his deer season. And I said, I have to air some of this on it. So when I started looking over the footage, Matt, I saw your deer that you get in this. You called him Neo. So it sounds like there's a story to be had here.
Yeah, Neo straight from the Matrix. It's a deer. I set the blind up a couple of years ago. It started to provide some really good opportunity, some great interactions in November, watching the white-tailed rut, watching bucks spar with each other, chasing does, and it's just been real excitement. And this particular buck had an arrow sent by a friend about, it would be 2 years ago, and it literally ducked so good that we could not call him Neo. It ended up cutting a bit of his. At about 40 yards, it dropped 18 inches and cut some hair off, and the clip I have from that was just awesome. The end result wasn't. Definitely sucks to make a shot and not capitalize, but it's become one of my favorite spots for November.
Well, and persistence paid off.
Yep.
You're not going to want to miss it.
Dirt Nap TV is brought to you by Scree Canada. Dirt Nap TV is brought to you by these fine sponsors: Tooth of the Arrow Broadheads, Victory Archery, Portable Winch Company, Scent Relief, Archery World, Alberta's premier archery destination.
After a few days of sitting, finally the action was happening, and one of my target bucks box frame caught him through the timber, tried to grunt him in a bit, didn't realize he's following a doe, and as soon as that doe came out, he came right behind her. They didn't seem like they were breathing too hard or anything like that, and just were feeding until he suddenly turned and got motivated to go after her. And there's no shot at that speed, and he chased her right off the field not too long after that, which was disappointing, so it was back to waiting.
Looking for love.
Yeah, aren't we all? Nah. Well, I got my shot. I got my shot at Neo. He's a buck I've been chasing for a couple of years. He's dodged arrows in the past, and he's got an arrow in him today. Unfortunately, it's a bit back, so it's going to be a bit of a wait before I try and recover him. I shot him about 9 a.m. Probably give it about an hour, then I'll leave the blind, head back as least disturbing as possible, and probably just going to throw an 8 to 12 hour timer on, because he moved off really slowly, bedded behind the thick that he ran into, and no sign of movement. Not sure if I would see him exit if he went further back, but didn't look like he's going anywhere. But I just don't know about the shot for sure, so I'm just going to give it the max time to make sure I don't have to bump him and chase him any further.
This segment of Dirt Nap TV is brought to you by PSE Archery.
Found him? That is awesome. We found him. I was looking grim there for a minute. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, he's stiff. Man, the recovery on this was looking grim, but I don't think he actually went that far. Looking at it, I think he made it about 200 yards and bedded in a spot that was brutally thick around it and hard to find. And glad we could make good on a shot that wasn't my favorite shot.
All right, well, up next is Mike. You know, it's been a few years since you've seen him, but still same great hair, and he pinwheels a doe here. It's pretty cool footage. He had some pretty awesome sits, you know, between the world's biggest porcupine and bears and stuff like that. It's just an all-around fun segment.
Okay, it's opening day in my township, and I made a decision not to go out this morning. There's too many deer in the morning, and I'm going to just bust a bunch of deer out. So there has been a beautiful deer coming in at 7 o'clock for the last 2 days, so I'm going to see if I can have him come in tonight and maybe tag out the first day. So stick with me and see what happens. It is a beautiful day out. A little bit breezy, but I think it's going to calm down tonight, and it's nice and cool, so that's a good thing, but couldn't ask for a better opening day. Stick with me and see what happens. Hey, get out of here. Get. Get.
This segment of Dirt Nap TV is brought to you by Portable Winch Company.
Okay, I'm just about to sit for my third sit of the year. I busted a few deer off already, but they're smaller deer, so I'm hoping for a nice big buck to come along tonight. It is beautiful weather for hunting tonight. 9 degrees west wind, so 9 kilometers, so I'm looking forward to a good night, but any night's a good night in the stand if you ask me. Well, I just shot that doe, and 2022 deer season has officially started. I have another deer tag for Southern Ontario. I got an invite from one of the Dirt Nap guys. Ken is inviting me down there this year, and he sees lots of deers down there. They have a huge doe population, so I just wanted to get some meat in the freezer and get the deer season started, and that's what I did. Okay, it's been about an hour. I did find the arrow. It's got lots of pink blood on it, lots of airy blood, so that's what you want. It's double long shot, I'm almost certain of it. I got my neighbor, Gary McNeese, is gonna help me. Like I said, it's been about an hour, so we're gonna just head down there. I'm pretty sure I heard that deer crash over there. Let's go see if we can get our first doe of the year. The shot was a little bit high, but I must have clipped a couple of lungs because I heard it crash, like I said, and sure enough, we found it like not too far from where I shot it. Anyways, great way to start off the year. 2022 deer season underway.
All right, now up next is Greg. So you might not know this, but Greg's never shot an animal with a bow, with a compound bow. He shot them with crossbows and lots with his rifle, but you know, this is his very first deer ever with a compound bow, and I'm sure you know it's been a lot of years since your first one, but it's not always easy.
Pretty special.
Yeah, so it was exciting for him, and you know, exciting we can share it with you.
The morning after, I shot that nice doe last night. Had the feeling that it wasn't a great shot, so I decided to set it out for the night. Went out quietly, went back to Ken's place, came back in the morning, here we are. I've got Ken and Norm with me, we're gonna go looking for her. I'm pretty sure she's not gonna be too far from where I saw her go into the bush over there, but let's go have a look for her. So already guys, we got good blood tracks coming right into the bush. This is where I saw her go in. And so we're pretty confident she's not going to be too far in there. Let's keep going. So we found my doe. She didn't go 100, 110 yards from where I shot her. It's where I thought she was going to head towards. Had Norm and Ken help me track for the blood. We found really good sign right off the bat. And even though it snowed a little bit overnight, it was pretty good. We found her quick. She expired just about 110 yards. So she went pretty quick, which I'm very grateful for. And there's another doe in the season. Thank you very much.
This segment of Dirt Nap TV is brought to you by Tooth of the Arrow Broadheads.
All right, well, hey, it looks like Wyatt's gonna give his dad a run for his money. You know, Ken has some good footage, but Wyatt kept his composure and absolutely smashes that beautiful Ontario buck. So big congrats to Wyatt, and Ken, you're gonna have to watch out. He might have to push you off the show and put Wyatt in there. I'm sure more people want to see his face anyway, but.
pretty sure, I don't know, he didn't really act like he was shot, but he was right there. I had to kind of shoot through some cattails though, so hopefully that didn't affect the shot. That's a nice buck right there. I just got finished setting up, and I could hear something running right off to my left, and I look up. And sure enough, here's this buck, got this doe running through. And I'm like, oh, that's gotta be a buck chasing her. So I gave the grunt, I got the grunt. I was trying to get the camera over and I grunted. And sure enough, he steps right out in the open, but like I said, there's a few little cattails in the way, and I really hope that didn't affect my shot. Like, I tried to get out and around them, but I mean, Alright, we're gonna back up and start getting down. It's early yet, but my son Wyatt took a poke at a nice buck, so I'm gonna get down and go give him a hand and see whether he hit it or not, and go from there. Alright, so we had a quick look at Wyatt's shot. We think it's gonna looks alright, so we are just at the spot where he shot, and yeah, we're gonna check it out and see if we can track it in to see what's going on. Alright, so we've only gone roughly about 30 yards and we can't find any blood. We're on the path that we think he's on. Yeah, and we're just gonna follow it up and kind of see what we can come up with. So we'll keep an eye out for blood as we go, and that sun is, so we think he might have crossed here. Hold on, what's that? Yeah. Right up here. Walking straight ahead. I'm pretty sure that's him right straight ahead. Is it him? It is. He didn't go far at all. No. We were worried that maybe Wyatt didn't make a good shot on him. Oh, there's blood now. Oh yeah? Yeah. Wow. That's a big one. Oh yeah, he started bleeding a lot now. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy how long they go. Like from where yeah, so there's our first drop of blood right now. Oh yeah, right there. Jeez. Big bodied deer too, eh? Yeah. Man, oh man. There's a big body, big neck too. God. Oh, he's stiff. Yeah, he's stiff already. Well, it's been a few hours. He can go 50 yards. So that crashing you heard was definitely him. And that's why I said, like, did it sound like deer running or crashing like a deer dying? And there goes my muzzleloader tag, just like that. Get out, get some pictures, and get them tagged up. And beautiful, dude, beautiful.
Well, and that's a wrap, you know. It was interesting episode, you know. We saw a whole bunch of different sides to things. Like, good example, Matt's deer, he did the right thing, backed out, gave it time. Probably the hardest thing to do as a hunter is to back out for, you know, a day.
You work so hard to get that opportunity, and that whole system becomes on weight, and that's painful for sure.
I bet you slept well that night.
Well, yeah, there's melatonin.
Right? So, yeah, and then, you know, same thing with Mike's deer, he gave it time. Just the best thing to do. Otherwise, you'll find yourself running around in the pitch black looking for an animal, and your odds of finding it are actually less. Just back out, give it time to do what it does. Well, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You know, be sure to check out our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you're in and around the Calgary area, check out Archery World. It's a bow shop like you've never seen. It is hands down one of my favorite places to be. You go in at the right time, you might be able to see this fella.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe Matt might show up again next year, but you'll have to stick around and see. We'll see you right here next week on Dirt Nap TV.
Dirt Nap TV is brought to you by these fine sponsors: Grizzly Targets, CWD Free, Archery World, TSC Archery, Precision Driven.
Hello YouTube friends. Hey, we got a favor to ask of you. Before you continue with this video, if you could give us a like and a subscribe, follow along, you know, get all the updates. We'll be uploading videos quite often. We're trying to do it every week or so now with some of the awesome footage that we have. Helps us grow, helps us get our following up, and you know what, we're doing this for you guys, and we'd really appreciate the support. This is what helps us grow, and you guys are the ones that can help us get there. So if you could smash that subscribe and like button, we'd appreciate it. Thanks.